Well, the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation has held a picket outside the UAE embassy in Pretoria this morning. It's demanding the Guptas be extradited to South Africa and be held accountable for their role in state capture. eNCA reporter Khayelihle Khumalo has more.
We are outside the UAE embassy here in Pretoria, and the message is quite clear for them to make sure that, the Guptas are swiftly brought back to South Africa to account for a litany of allegations that they are facing. But of course, Ahmed Kathrada Foundation is leading this particular picket that's been concluded. Joining us now is, of course, the Executive Director, Mr. Balton. So, sir, let us look at the significance of today. Handed in a memorandum under very mysterious circumstances. You literally had to put it under the gates. But tell us about the importance of today.
I think the importance here today, you've seen a wide variety of organizations. You have Reverend Frank Chikani here from the Defender of Democracy campaign. And if it were not for the COVID period, there probably would have been thousands of people here. I think to express the anger as well as the hope. Anger about what this family have done through state capture to our democracy, but also hope at last that they will come and stand trial, and in so doing help us begin to put an end to at least this aspect of state capture, and for people to be seeing that justice can be done. And for that we want to say thank you and express our gratitude to the NPA as well as the governments of the UAE and South Africa for having at least got it to this point. But now action is required. They need to implement the terms of that agreement as a matter of urgency.
And just once again, say we've seen, of course, the ratification coming into effect. Do you think that's a positive move?
Extremely, extremely. For whatever reason, whatever has held it up, because when we spoke to the ambassador here about a week ago, he was saying that the South Africans were delaying. The South Africans were saying it was the UAE. And we were not too sure who exactly was holding it up. Hence, our memorandum is addressed to both governments. We are ever happy that it has now been signed. It must now be given effect. And the terms and agreements must actually result in the Guptas and everybody else named in this extradition treaty to be brought back, hopefully at Waterkloof Airport, so that I think justice can be seen to be started to be done.
All right, sir, thank you so much indeed for your time, but also bringing the Reverend into the conversation. Today, you are here in Pretoria to send a very clear message to the Gupta family.
We didn't know that they had a strategy to loot this country. I mean, I cannot understand how they gained access to all the leadership of this country, even their children and their families. There must have been a very sophisticated strategy to achieve the capture of the state.
South Africans are outraged, the rolling blackouts, and we know when you look at the context of state capture, Eskom is one of those entities that were hollowed out by the Guptas.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually the evidence before us. I mean, who thought SAA would collapse? Who thought that Eskom would be in such debt that they are in now? I mean, who thought Transnet would be in this situation where we don't even have the rail has disappeared and etc. It's just unacceptable. We need people to account, and those who collaborated with them in South Africa must go to jail with them.